What is going on, everybody, and welcome in to episode number 57 of the Pre-Patch Podcast. Yeah, the numbers just keep going up, and is that normal? Numbers just keep going up and up, right? They're not supposed to go down, right?
Numbers just keep going up.
I think that's how it works.
We get a little
goes up
at this point, you know.
Yeah, just getting a little bit. We're almost 60. We're almost 60 years old.
Line goes up.
When do we qualify for retirement? Have you guys been putting into your 401k?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
Oh shit! God dang it! Enigma, damn it, bro.
How
are we supposed to retire? It cannot just be me, Scruffy, and Bill supporting your fat ass.
Ain't no retiring, man. We working until we die.
This is bullshit.
The true millennial mindset.
Oh God, yeah. No, you guys got to support him, huh? That's how it works. All right. Well, welcome to episode number 57. Super excited to be here. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. We actually have Twitch and YouTube news, which is kind of crazy. We got Warcraft news. We got like delay news, acquisition news, bankruptcy news. Obviously, new games that we're playing. 3 of us have turned into vampires. Bill is actually not playing Elden Ring, which is fucking crazy. So it's fucking nutty, man. But welcome in. As you can tell, the whole crew is here. And we are happy to have you. Yeah. And we've got some big announcements. Is that we are now officially able to do video podcast on Anchor and on Spotify.
No, just on Spotify. Just on Spotify. Yeah, it's only on Spotify. But you can get to our Spotify through our Anchor, which is anchor.fm/prepatch podcast. There it'll take you to all of the different podcasting websites that we're able to be hosted on. I think we're at 7 right now. 7 totals. We're on
not too bad.
We're
covered, man.
Google, we're on Apple, Spotify, Linktree, or not Linktree, some other ones, some other random ones. I don't know. We got more that we can actually put on. So if there's any podcasting place that you like to listen to your podcast, just let us know and I can see if we are on that.
That means that there's no excuse to not be listening to this podcast, just saying.
Pretty much, right. Yeah.
Like none, zero. There's no if you want to find us, you can find us. Whether we're here on Twitch with our VODs, you can be on over on Billy's channel with his VOD, you can be on our YouTube channel, you can be on Spotify. I mean, anchor.fm/prepatch podcast. Like, come on. Like, there's plenty of places.
But it is a good thing. We do have quite a bit of content for you guys. We are up to date on Anchor as well. I literally just uploaded 56, so we are ready for today's episode essentially. So
there you go. Yeah, 50.
Good to go.
Can you think of that? 57 episodes. Usually, roughly about what? Almost 2 hours. Sometimes some of them about 3
hours. Yeah, some
like
some
you know
3.
You're talking. That's a lot of time that you could be listening to this. So if you're going on a car ride all the way across the U.S. or whatever else, or going on a long plane ride, just pop us in, man. We're like that white noise in the background.
Like we're there with you. You know.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever wanted to like cuddle up with one of us, I mean, just put us on by your pillow, and just go to sleep. So, in fact,
costs a little extra though. Just saying.
I'm pretty sure I have been asked to tell people bedtime stories. So
you've got the voice for it. I mean,
I think that's something that Billy's chat wanted me to do at one point.
Yeah.
Well, even though technically they think that I am actually just Billy, but we won't bring that up.
Well, it's true, but we don't have to get into that.
We are actually going to start selling body pillows, life-size body pillows of all 3 of us. So
it's true.
I've already got one of Sin, so it's popular.
Oh man. All right. Anyway, well, if you guys are listening to us on anchor.fm/prepatch podcast, you also can come and join us live, be part of our live channel chat. Like I said, we do this live across Twitch and YouTube. So make sure to hit us up there, and come join in and participate. You guys get to give feedback. You guys can send in your questions at the end. And we get engaged with you guys throughout the show. It makes the show fun. So, like I said, we do this every other Thursday, 10:30 Eastern, right here live. Let's get into it. Twitch news. So, unless you've lived under a rock and you're following, you are a Twitch person, you are a live streaming person, and you enjoy streaming. I don't think you couldn't have not kind of heard about what's going on in the Twitch world. This has been rumblings that have been happening across other different platforms, and with payouts being restructured to where most platforms are paying more. Most platforms, when they restructure the payout and they want to keep their people happy, they pay them more money, right? Not at Twitch. At Twitch, we go, nah. We're gonna pay you less. Like, we're gonna cut that 70-30 down to 50-50, right? So, that happened along with a bunch of other kind of shit that they rolled out that were like, oh, by the way, like we're gonna be adding ads into different places, and basically, the only good thing that kind of came out of this was that the exclusivity got lifted. So now you can basically say you can go stream everywhere that you want to stream to.
It's great,
is this all official?
No, it hasn't come out yet. They're thinking sometime in the summer, but
yeah.
Twitch has not come out to say no, this is not true.
Yeah, that's true. But
so at that point, it makes you wonder. But honestly, the whole exclusivity, being lifted is great, but in my mind, it should have never been there in the first place. And we all signed contracts, but I feel like what it should have been, and I don't think YouTube or Facebook Gaming or any of the other sites, like they don't hold their
even Mixer.
No others, even Mixer never hold their streamers to exclusivity. It should have been they find the top streamers that they want to keep and sign contracts. Have them sign contracts. That's how it should have been. So it's a great thing that's being lifted, but I mean, I feel like they're trying to make it like, oh, we're gonna take money away, but you can stream on other sites now. So
I think Enigma kind of hit the nail on the head with this. I really think that Amazon is squeezing whatever they can out of it, and then they're just gonna let it go. Like, I don't think Amazon.
That's kind of like the going like conspiracy theory right now is that Amazon has for the last Amazon has for like the last 4 years been like, you need to make more money. You need to make more money. You need to make more money. And Twitch, why aren't you making more money? And so I think what they're thinking is that let's just squeeze as much as we can out of them, and then once we've squeezed them dry, get rid of them. Throw them to the side.
I don't think the question I want to put forward then in that situation is, does Amazon just like dissolve Twitch, or are they planning? Do you think they'll sell it off?
It's too big. It's too big to dissolve, and they'll sell it, right? You will see. Honest to God, I think it's probably one of the best things that probably could happen to Twitch is to get out from underneath Amazon. If
it's gonna ask that, do you think it's a better thing for Twitch being not under Amazon? With all
100%. I think so.
What we were hoping for whenever Twitch, got purchased, right? Because obviously it went from Justin TV to Twitch, and then from Twitch it got purchased under Amazon, right? And what we were hoping for at that time was, oh, this is big money coming in, like they're gonna do some amazing things and really kind of push a lot of cool features and make this bigger, right? And we saw that for maybe the first couple years, and then after that it was just like, oh, the innovation stopped. I think that Amazon realized that this is not really a profitable endeavor. Like the cost that it takes to continue kind of doing this and things that were set up was not exactly and what they paid. I mean, it was like $90 billion or something like that, right? Like
I can't remember.
Or some shit. So it was an astronomical amount that they paid, and I don't think that they've recouped that, and so Amazon is basically looking at how do we, build this, or how do we take and squeeze every last dollar that we can out of it, and then sell it off. There are people out there that would buy this, right? Like, I guarantee you right now that Meta, as much as I don't want it to go to Meta, like Meta would pick this up in a heartbeat, because.
Do you think they would just absorb it into Facebook gaming?
Absolutely. Like, I think that, surprisingly enough, I think Microsoft would do it. I think Microsoft, I know that they got
Microsoft would.
I know Microsoft got rid of Mixer, but that's because they didn't want to put in all the crap that was there to build that. But just go in and say, oh, this is an existing platform. Absolutely, we'll buy it. I think Microsoft buying Twitch would be the best thing for them.
Do you think YouTube's interested in it as well, potentially? No. Or do you think they've built enough groundwork that they? I
don't think they've built enough groundwork. I don't think that they care enough about the streaming side of it to integrate it in the way that it would need to. Like, to rebrand that, because like you look at like Facebook, no one looks at Meta and goes, oh yeah, Meta's a streaming platform, right? Or a live streaming. It's still a social network. YouTube is still looked at as a video consumption platform. So I think it would be harder to integrate those two together than it would be to, I mean, not to say that Google wouldn't throw their hat into the ring, but
my only point on that is that, like, if they ever did come up for sale, right, that's one less thing that YouTube has to do to integrate into their website, right? It's pretty much pre-built into Twitch. They just have to do the legwork of migrating Twitch's API and Twitch's website over into their streaming site, essentially.
Yeah, but do you think they would rebrand from Twitch? Like, I feel like I
don't think they would rebrand. I think what would happen is Twitter. I do think they would rebrand. Twitch would then become YouTube Gaming, essentially. And then what they would do is instead of just integrating, YouTube Gaming into their natural streaming platform, I think they would just you would go to YouTubeGaming.com. And it would just be a YouTube version of Twitch.
I feel like buying that name alone like has a lot of weight to it. I know it's crazy to think that like Twitch, the name Twitch, like has that much weight than like YouTube, but YouTube Gaming does not hold the weight that like Twitch does. Like if you were to go to most,
it doesn't hold the weight with Twitch in the fight right now. But if Twitch is no longer a thing, then yes, it definitely holds the weight.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not like Twitch will still be a thing, but I don't think that. I think that they would need the like. I still think they would need the name. Like I think that they would keep that name, and that's why I see it being hard to integrate into YouTube. I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
but that's going off the assumption that YouTube would actually purchase Twitch in the first place. So
I really think well, let's ask this: who are the players that are in this? So we said YouTube maybe. I mean, are we all kind of agreeing? Microsoft for sure. Like, I really think Microsoft
would be a contender.
Would make a play for it.
I don't know. I'm kind of the opinion that I think that Microsoft tried their hand at a streaming website and didn't find it appealing.
I'm still in agreement with Sin that Mixer was almost like a blank slate. Like it wasn't much at the time. It was Beam and it really wasn't going anywhere.
But that's what I'm saying though.
Twitch the foundation is all there. I mean, like the viewer base, the community, the foundation, it's all there already. So it's really just them buying it.
I don't know. I am still of the mindset that they tried their hand at the streaming site with Beam or whatever, and said fuck it, we don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, but also look at like where Microsoft was when that was going on versus where they are now, right? Like their whole mentality back then was nowhere in the idea of like streaming services and really opening up gaming into a whole different spectrum. Like I think Phil coming in. Not saying that Phil wasn't there when Beam and Mixer were around, but their mindset was, I think, the progression of what do we do with the Xbox Series X? What do we do with Game Pass? Where are we going? And so I look at it now, and they're in this acquisition mode. And I mean, unless Tencent, I mean, that's another buyer that I could see. But oh, holy fuck, man, I can tell you right now, if Tencent buys Twitch, I'm out. Like I'm out. I don't want to be part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't want to be.
I don't know. I mean, there's not many companies around that I think that would throw that much money into it.
Well, and I just looked it up as well. So, Amazon purchased Twitch back in 2014 for $970 million. So almost that's a pretty decent chunk of money.
Almost $1 billion. Okay.
Yeah, almost $1 billion. Yep.
So
the market value has gone up since.
Market value has gone up. So you're probably looking at like $2-3 billion.
You know what? I think Elon Musk is buying it.
Elon Musk is going to buy it. Confirmed.
Fuck it. If Elon Musk buys it, I'm in. Yeah, I'll stay. I don't know. It's an interesting landscape right now. Everything, I think Twitch is self-sabotage. Well, not Twitch. I think Amazon is self-sabotaging Twitch. Honestly, yeah. I really think what's happening is I don't even now that I'm thinking about it and we're talking about evaluation, I don't even think that they're trying to squeeze every dime and dollar. I think they're trying to devalue the platform. I think that they're looking at these streamers and going, fuck it, we're not renewing contracts.
That's what I was about to say. I think they're trying to devalue the platform to squeeze as much money out of that platform as possible, just to quick sell it, essentially.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting, and again, I think it's sad because we all see, like, we've been here for, well, we've all been on Twitch for a long period of time, right? And it's we remember the glory days of what Twitch was and what it is now, and it's definitely not the same.
I remember the wild west of Justin TV, man. That shit was cray.
So I do think that I don't think we could go back to those kind of days. Like, I think Justin TV days were.
Well, that's just the political climate that we're in right now. I don't think that Justin TV would fit into a current.
It needs someone with money to be able to innovate, right? Like,
right,
and do things differently. I mean, what's the latest thing that Twitch has brought out that was actually somewhat innovative over the last, like, let's just give it, say, 4 or 5 years? Like, really, I don't know of anything that they've come out with that was like, oh my god, this is amazing, right? Like, we were supposed to get watch parties, and that fucking failed. Like,
I was about to say, I think the only thing that I can think of would be either watch parties or squad streaming, and neither of them were innovative. They were both
already that
around.
It was like maybe 7 years was like clips or something, right? That was like a while ago.
So it's kind of crazy. So I mean, this leads into a place now where you've got content creators that are, if Amazon is trying to devalue Twitch, they're not renewing contracts, which means you have people like Sykkuno, and I know that we talked about a little bit in the podcast Discord that, like, oh, is this a big deal? But it is, like, it's still another streamer that's going over. And actually, if you've watched his video on why he left, like, what some of the things that kicked off of was a devalue of himself. Like, he did not feel valued over here, and to the point that he literally, like, it said Twitch cross and they spelled Sykkuno wrong. It was like Sukkuno, Sukkuno, or whatever else, or NNO, however you pronounce it, like, spell his name, but they spelled it wrong. He was like, I had to really look and see if this was a phishing scam. Like, I didn't even know if this was actually Twitch, and it was. So, like, they don't even respect enough to even do their homework to be like, hey, let me make sure that we're spelling our fucking creators' names right.
It echoes Ludwig's exits video pretty heavily, honestly, with, like, very similar, like, I don't feel like the company gives a shit about me, so
right.
Yes.
I'm going to go somewhere that actually fought for me.
Right. So, and so that leads us into kind of the YouTube discussion here, which is, obviously YouTube now, at the beginning of the year, there were some big hopes because, the head of gaming, came out and did this huge big video and, was talking about all this kind of stuff. And then within a matter of months left, like, he dipped and went out to an NFT company. You then now have the new head of gaming coming in, and we hadn't heard anything from her. And we hadn't really heard we had heard some stuff, but it was nothing concrete. And we didn't get any new features until just recently, which they came out with rating. Which is one of the things that we have been all talking about for a long time, which is the loneliness factor on YouTube. It is a lonely place because there is not that ability to transfer viewership back and forth and feel like you're connected to other streamers. I know it sounds stupid, but if you're not a streamer, you really can't understand and as a viewer, you really don't grab it because you're just like, okay, I'm being transitioned from one place to another. And 9 times out of 10, most raiders, people that go with somebody will usually, like, they'll stick around for maybe maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes
they
at
dip
most.
out within 5 minutes. Yeah.
Either that or they just lurk.
But for a streamer, there is a connectivity that you feel the moment that you get a raid. Even just the 4 of us raiding each other, when it would happen, or finding someone low, that we want to raid that is a smaller viewer or streamer, there's a connectivity. So them bringing this out is great. But Bill, I want to ask you specifically, what are your thoughts on this rating? Because there are some stipulations that are that like are a little awkward, in my opinion.
So I've listened to a few different YouTube creators on the subject, and I have my own thoughts on it. The common consensus seems to be they saw what happened over with Twitch and the use of its, like, rating feature. And they're not wanting to echo that. I know there's a few mixed opinions about, like, the hate raids and stuff like that. And honestly, they aren't that big of a issue to deal with. They are extremely annoying, especially to have to deal with live.
Yeah.
But from everybody that I've listened to and kind of the initial thought that I had was they are wanting to play it extremely conservative in initial release and then dial it back. I've heard several different people say that they've talked to YouTube representatives and they have said that yes, they understand that this is a very restrictive rating service as it is right now, but they do plan on like fine tuning it into something that will be appropriate while also keeping people safe from potential malicious behavior. What Sin was mentioning with all this restrictivity is to be able to raid anybody to begin with, you need to have at least 1K subscribers to your channel. Also, to be able to raid somebody, that somebody that you're raiding needs to either have subscribed to your channel or they need to have you on a pre-approved list of streamers that they are allowing to raid in. It's basically a consent form that, yes, I am accepting. If this person wants to send their community my way, they are allowed to. And a subscription automatically gives you that right to sub to the person that's sub to you, or to raid somebody that's sub to you. So it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot of red tape to get through just to send your community over.
Just it feels really asinine to me.
Days, there's been quite a few bugs with it as well, where the list feature hasn't been working properly. It's really only been working through subs, being able to raid into people that are sub to you. People on those lists, it's just not allowing them to. And I guess there's also been some bugs where not the entirety of the community is being sent over. I think Harris Heller said about 70% of his people got sent over. The other 30% just didn't transfer.
Right. So here's the thing, that rating is about spontaneity, right? So like yes, we you get into a point where you're rating the same people over and over again, but there is a oh my god, I can't speak, a spontaneous feeling of like, hey, I want to just go find a random person that's streaming Blood Hunt and I want to go drop them a raid, right? And I understand maybe on the YouTube side they're like, look, like how many people are actually streaming Elden Ring right now, right, on our platform? Like we're not at that point yet. But like to say like, hey, I need you to be approved or I need you to sub, either two, like I only see two things happening. Either A, seeing that rating is just going to stick within the group, the small little group that it is, which then defeats some of the purpose of rating. And then the other side of it is that it's going to equal into people just going in and literally subscribing to anybody and everybody in a fucking category, which is going to blow numbers out of whack. Because
I think that's why they added the list feature, because me personally, I don't want to overinflate my subscriber feed with people that's
you don't care
just
about,
have an overabundance. Not necessarily that I don't enjoy their content, but I only tend to subscribe to channels that I like.
So the list is like you're whitelisting people to raid you, right? Or to raid them.
You're whitelisting people to allow them the ability to raid you. Also,
right.
Just for clarity's sake, because they weren't very clear in their raid thing, anybody can receive a raid. The only stipulation is the 1,000 subscribers to be able to send a raid. It's another kind of vetting procedure where a channel at least has to be like somewhat standing to be able to have access to this feature.
So that seems like a lot, but I do know that YouTube has a notoriously bad botting problem, especially still holds up today. So I'm sure it's not hard for a random account to get botted and accrue like 1,000 subscribers or something like that. So
no, it's
hold on, but so anybody can send a raid, right? As long as they've hit that 1,000 whatever.
As long as you
right?
have 1,000 subscribers to your account, you can send a raid. Yes.
And anybody can receive a raid. It doesn't matter if they've hit that 1,000 subscriber thing. Correct.
Right.
Yes.
But you still have to have that person on your follow list in order to send that raid. No.
The person
you two still have to be subbed together.
The person has to be subbed to you.
Yeah,
to raid
so
them.
the person that you're raiding has to have subbed to you. You don't have to be subbed to the person that
See,
you're raiding.
that's where it just throws an entire wrench in the entire game, because again, it like I said in the chat,
Or on the white
it
list.
just completely removes that spontaneous feeling of, hey, ended my stream, here's 40, 50, 60 people, have at it. It I don't know if it's just an ecosystem of Twitch or whatnot, or if it's something to do with the Twitch in general, but it almost feels like that's what the entire idea behind like raids and hosts was built for, correct? Like getting your
And then
viewers out.
it started being used wrongfully.
I understand, and
no, I know.
like
I
I said, like I said in the chat, it's like I said in the chat, it's one of those things where it's like, yes, I understand that it's an annoyance, but that's what you sign up for essentially if you want to have that source of that sense of community inside of Twitch, right? If you want to have that sense of community.
Twitch does have an option to disable being rated, right?
But it's not enabled
during yourself at that point.
Yeah, it's not enabled originally. You actually have to go in and enable that yourself. But
well, and I think
I don't know. It just doesn't sell well with me, because it's one of those things where it's almost like they're trying to fight back against becoming an actual community, right?
Well,
again, multiple YouTube reps have said that this is an extremely conservative launch, and that they will be rolling back some of these features. I have a feeling that they are eventually going to add a allow anybody to raid me button and remove the whole subscriber or whitelist thing.
No.
You can still have access to that if you wanted to have that, but I do believe that they're most likely going to have an allow anybody button at some point.
And I did say that this is a step. Like I've been a big proponent of like I don't trust fucking YouTube as far as I can throw them with this shit, because they've never taken their streaming service seriously, right? Like I've said that multiple times. We've said it multiple times on the podcast. But I will give it to them. This is a step in the right direction. At least they're trying for something. But
right.
I think they just it's not entirely there. They need to.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like I think I think we're holding him to a higher standard, because it's like, hey, look, like you have an example to look at. Like, yeah, I get the hate rate stuff, but like, Jesus Christ, if you look at everything that, like, if you look at any live streaming platform or being online or anything like that, then like you shouldn't even allow chat. Like at that point, you're just like, holy shit, because chat's toxic and it's the or whatever. So I understand like the concept of like we've got to protect against hate rates, but the reality of it is that as streamers, we are opening ourselves up to the weird internet and the hateful internet and the amazing internet that it is. So,
and the reality of it is as well is like if somebody wants to send a hate raid to you, they're going to do it regardless. Like they can do it without YouTube or Twitch's systems. Like there's what's it called? There's websites out there that are meant for malicious. Yeah, 4chan. There's websites out there that are meant for this kind of malicious action. So it's like
it's just in YouTube's eyes, they don't want to see a feature that they implement being used that way, though. And
so, but what I'm saying is, I think what we're holding them a higher standard, because yes, we get that, but at the same time, like this is not like rating is a new thing, right? This is not like this is a feature that's been out. Like you've seen it in practice, you understand the benefits. The benefits outweigh the bad. So it's like, okay, just stop pussyfooting around and let's do it. But I met with Enigma and saying like, hey, look, like this is a move forward in the right direction. Like, and I think this
is the first thing that we've seen from them that actually has done anything for their streaming platform since that guy left, is it not, for like the last 5 months?
Yes, this is the first thing that did since he has left, for sure.
There's no sorts of like of what Twitch has, like subscribers. I know there's nothing like
there's members.
There is a paid.
So you have members.
You have to get to monetization before you can.
And that's again at 1,000, right? So that's like behind the 1,000 threshold.
1,000 and so many watch hours.
Which that part I don't agree with. That part I do think that they should actually lower that down. Like I think monetize
500.
Maybe 500. I mean, 100. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's
100, maybe not, but at least 500.
I don't know where, but that is something that I think they need to lower. But what
I remember back in the day when it was 100. Like that was what it was when it first started.
Not for streaming, I don't think, right?
Yeah, for YouTube, when it came to monetization, they didn't have streaming back when that monetization was like that. But when monetization was first started, roughly first started on YouTube, and the public was actually like able to sign up for it, it was 100 subscribers and like a handful of hours.
Yeah. Right. Well,
then the bots came.
The thing about, no, it's not that. It's that people started consuming it more, so they started upping it.
They had to bump it up.
Right. So here's the thing.
It's the same thing that Twitch did with theirs, right? Like the affiliate there for a while was dog shit easy to get. And then they were like, "Whoa, wait, hold on. We can make some money off of this."
It's still really good, though.
Yeah, but they can make money off of it now.
Yeah.
The thing about it is that, and look, we've all, for the most part, well, okay, and I'm not dogging Enigma, right? Enigma doesn't stream as much as what myself and Scruffy do, right, on this platform, and I've already left this platform now twice. It is something that, you know, this was the first time that Scruffy actually, without any other kind of like somebody mentioning like they're leaving or something like that, like he openly said, like, look, like if this shit continues to go down with Twitch, I am okay with making a jump.
I see Twitch going down, and I see YouTube starting to make progress here. You know, whether it's small, but it's something. It's starting to open my eyes.
Yeah, and I mean
the interesting thing is the overlap between Twitch's fuck ups and YouTube actually, like,
right,
as small of a jump forward as it is still a jump forward in the streaming space, where if Twitch follows through with the removing exclusivity, I think it's going to become the norm for people to multi-stream to both platforms.
No,
I genuinely do.
No, I don't honestly see why that's a big issue. Like, so I think that it should be like
I'll
that.
I'll tell you why it's a big issue.
100%.
I'll tell you why it's an issue. Right? It's not as simple and cut and dry as we all as well, I'm not gonna say we all, that people like to think. Like, yes, there are platforms like Restream. We're using Restream right now to be able to stream to both YouTube and to Twitch. But it's not as simple as integrating into both and being able to grab chat from both, being able to grab alerts from both, being able to there is, and also too, just in general, for people that want to like, for me, one of the perks for YouTube is they give automatic transcoding, and I can do it at 1440p. Even if I wanted to do that, I can't do that here. So like I can't do it on Twitch, which I get as a fringe maybe, but I can't even stream at the right bitrate that I would want to be able to produce a 1080p stream at bare minimum over on Twitch or on YouTube to be able to make it look good. Which, again, if you understand, YouTube, and Bill, you've said this too, like YouTube is very strong for your VOD community base. Like, it's so like your streams help you, but it's there for VODs. Like, so am I going to go and now create an inferior product that's not going to look as good as the millions of people that are creating same product, but it's going to look like shit, but that's because I'm trying to multi-stream. Like, I understand that you're like, oh, just multi-stream. No, that's not an answer. Like, the multi-stream isn't an answer. Like, it's just not. I'm sorry. I don't agree with the idea of streaming to both. Like, I don't think that's a good move.
Yeah, but okay. I'll also point out that you are in the top percentile of people that have a PC and have a fucking internet connection that's capable of streaming at 8K.
Let's not talk about let's just do 1080 though. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you take it down to just to 1080p, which is the standard, for, standard video period right now, right? Twitch can't even fucking handle 1080p in the proper bitrate. Like, it just doesn't. So, you need at least 10,000 to make 1080p look decent. And so I can't do that here. So I have to degrade my stream, and it's not so much that I'm degrading it on Twitch, I'm degrading it on YouTube, which is where my discoverability will come from, because I've got the VODs and I've got that stuff, and so it's just
saying that you can stream at the top of the game on Twitch, but you can't stream at the top of the game on YouTube.
Right.
Within a measurement of like what 2000 bit rate or something, because the max on Twitch is I think like 8,000, right? And that's if you're
8,000 if you're partnered. 6,000.
Well, you can get away with 8,000. They don't know, but you can get away with it right now. Like, you can stream at 8,000 bit rate. Like, we're streaming at 8,000 bit rate on.
Well, I don't think it's a terrible thing. I think it might hinder you a little bit, but you're at the same time you're still getting multiple services of discoverability. Even though you're it doesn't look as great on YouTube, you're still getting content on YouTube out as well as on Twitch.
Well, that's always been the case. And I'm sorry, I'll let you pop on this real quick after me, Bill. Is that like from the start and from the get go, even the highest tier people that are streaming on both sides, or that were streaming on both sides, and that have moved over to Twitch, like I can't ever remember his name.
Harris Heller.
Yeah, Helen Keller, Keller.
Helen Keller.
Harris Keller. He has said multiple times as well that you should be making YouTube, or you should be making videos on YouTube and streaming on Twitch. You should be making YouTubes on video to funnel people to your Twitch. That's not the other way around.
That's old. That's old. If you watch Harris Heller now, right? Well, let me say pre-Harris Heller. When he decided to leave Twitch and go over there, and actually about a month prior to, his dialogue changed. That was very much of like, you do not drive people to YouTube or do not drive people to Twitch, because Twitch is a dead end. And he's right. Like, people that go to Twitch, they stay on Twitch. They don't go anywhere else. Like, people on Twitch don't go to YouTube. They just don't. Like, or your other platforms. They just don't. It is a black hole.
It's the same thing, kind of like TikTok. It's really hard to get TikTok user base off of TikTok.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even if
user
base
isn't going to go to a YouTube channel. A TikTok user base isn't going to go to a Twitch stream. There's people on TikTok that I've seen that have getting close to like 100,000 followers on TikTok, and you go to their live stream, they're streaming to maybe like 20 people.
Yeah.
Well, and you misunderstood me. I didn't say people going from Twitch to YouTube. I said people going from YouTube to Twitch.
And but I feel like at the same time, it's not much. It's not a high percentage of people that actually will.
I mean, from everything that I've seen, it's a fairly high percentage. A lot of people from YouTube will go to Twitch, and yes, you are correct. A lot of people from Twitch will not go to YouTube; they stay on Twitch. But a lot of people on YouTube will pop over to Twitch if you have that in your links.
The other issue too is being brought up in chat is that when you're multi-streaming, you have to understand that like it's not a situation. Even if you have if you have overlay real estate built for chat on both, like if I'm talking to someone on YouTube, they're not going to know what Twitch people are not going to know who I'm talking to or why I'm talking to them. And then vice versa. Twitch, when I'm talking to Twitch, like people on YouTube are not going to understand what the fuck I'm doing. Even if it's on stream, like people are just not going to read it. Like they're not going to pay it. Multi-stream. Like
there's bots out there that can get past that. There's bots out there that transfer over YouTube comments and YouTube chat to Twitch and vice versa.
I still don't agree that
multi-streaming is the biggest problem though, and
it's not.
Like realistically, I think
I do agree with you. It is extremely confusing when it comes down to it if you don't have those things set up. But if you're smart and you're taking this seriously and actually wanting to stream on both, there are aspects and tools that you can use to make your life a lot easier for both.
It's also not free though. Like you have to be able to stream at 1080p on both. You have to for restreaming, and in fact,
premium is pretty high, isn't it?
You have to pay for it. Yeah, it's not a free thing. So like, and these are all things that, like I said, like I really think it's like you're picking one, and I'm telling you, like the more and more that YouTube brings the stuff, the more and more it makes it interesting. And I know I can tell what goes through all of our heads at the same time is, what would we do if we had the opportunity to be on Justin TV before it became Twitch, right? That's what goes through my head. Like, can I go to YouTube?
I was watching somebody who was partnered today that got partnered back on Justin TV,
so you look
at the same time, they were vetted at such an early stage that, and if they're not like that popular, they just have a bat or like whatever the check market is, and not many viewers unless they really kept up with it,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a difficult.
Yeah, everybody that I remember that was partnered from back then either doesn't stream anymore or like you said, they're not taking it seriously.
If they don't take it seriously, like it's nothing. Then it's just a check mark.
Yeah, but if you had the opportunity to be one of the first plank owners of YouTube streaming, right, to get in there when it's coming up, to get noticed. I mean, that's the. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things.
I don't know. I think the biggest problem with that kind of mentality is that back then when we were on the Justin TV days, not everybody knew how to stream. Like streaming was a really kind of niche type situation, unless you actually did your research and tried to figure out how the fuck to do it. You didn't know what the fuck you're doing. These days, anybody can go download OBS and you're set.
Yeah, but not everybody streams on YouTube, is what I'm saying. So like the
no, but that's
discoverability-
what I'm saying though, is like the problem with it is that like back then it was easier for people that knew what the fuck they were doing to do well on those streaming sites, right? Today's day and age, everything is flooded with just Joe Schmo that went and got a camera and he's on either YouTube or
Oh no,
Twitch
trust me, with people that put TTV and fucking YouTube in their name, I get it. Like,
oh god,
yeah, it fucking makes me.
Here we
angry.
go again.
But to wrap all this up, because you know we've got other shit we got to talk about. But the other thing too is like Dr. Disrespect. You know, so Sykuno left over there. Disguised Toast is saying like, oh, there's more, right?
More people going.
Upward of 5 more people. I'm assuming it's probably going to be your offline TV people. I don't think Pokemon
and Pokemon's not leaving. Like I said, I'm pretty sure Pokemon just re-upped her
just
her
yeah.
contract with
Did
Twitch,
she do her
not too
contract?
long ago. So she's got at least
but it's
she's got
so
at least a 2-year contract with him at the
I'm
very
waiting for a
minimum, I think.
VTuber to come over. I have a feeling that YouTube might be
I don't
looking
know.
for like a high profile VTuber. I don't think
Is there
Code Miko
not
is gonna-
VTubers over there?
I don't think Code Miko would be it because she's got her shit like heavily integrated into the like Twitch.
I'm
But
sure there is. I don't know if there's any that have been specifically taken from Twitch signed over to YouTube yet.
Oh no, that's not what I'm saying. But is there not popular VTubers on YouTube streaming?
not
really.
really.
No,
VTubing is not like
Not at least popular. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to look into it. I
Yeah.
know for a fact that there's a quite a few. Like Hololive is on YouTube. Pretty much predominantly, Hololive is completely on YouTube.
I don't know who that is.
I think that you're going to see
That's one of the biggest VTuber conglomerates in the world right now, basically.
To be honest, I think you're going to see who I could see them going after would be like the OTK crew, right? Like looking at pulling over like you pull Asmongold, you pull Mizkif, you pull
everyone.
like the S-Fan, you pull those guys.
Yeah.
That's a fucking big blow, and that's an area that like if you really look at where Asmongold's content has gone lately, it's going down this like, you know, we're watching YouTube videos and all this other kind of stuff. So
yeah, but in all fairness, with Asmongold's content has also been going down the route of he doesn't know if he's going to be streaming in the next 2 years. He's thinking about quitting.
But why would that not make more sense for him to go over to YouTube to get a contract, to get a thing, and be like, look, man, like you can stream, you don't stream, you create VODs.
The reason why he's not, I think, or the reason why he's thinking about quitting isn't because he's unhappy with Twitch. It's because he just doesn't want to.
No, I know,
stream
but I'm saying
I hear what's insane. He's saying
content.
if they were to sign him, he would have the option to just make videos and not have to stream.
I can just make videos. And
I understand it, but that's what I'm saying. He's come out and said predominantly the reason why he wants to quit is because he doesn't want to make content anymore. He's done with it.
Yeah, but I think if he could do it with OTK as well. Anyway, I mean, I don't know. But then you also have the other side of the coin, which is Doc coming out, and Dr. Disrespect basically saying this whole entire industry is basically a big piece of shit, you know, and phony and whatever. So part of our camp is in the idea that he's just bitching. The other part of it is saying
that's me. Hi, Dr. Disrespect likes to bitch about every platform he's on.
The other side of it is us saying kind of, you know, does he know something that we don't know?
Yeah, my only argument to that whole thing was like, so far from what I know, and I could be wrong because I don't keep track of Doc all that much. I mean, we've kept track of like if he brings out any information on why he got banned, but I don't watch his fucking streams. As far as I know, he's had nothing but good words to say about YouTube since he moved over. So why would he suddenly go down the route of?
Oh, he is not.
You know,
he has not had good words to say about YouTube. He is
okay.
adamantly complained about YouTube from the get go.
I mean, I can see why.
I think
I definitely see it as an attention thing. I don't know now that because directly from Sykuno moving over, you know, and he wants
I
spotlight.
think he's heavily salty because he hasn't been offered a contract yet.
Where's he gonna go?
Is he not?
No, why would you? As YouTube, look.
No, 100%. I know why YouTube hasn't offered him a contract. It's because he has no other viable option unless he wants to swallow his fucking pride and go to Twitch, which he's never gonna do because it's not in character.
Yeah, in a negotiation, as a negotiation,
they're not YouTube on Facebook
standpoint. What are you're gonna tell me that I want a contract, you're paying all these other guys, I'd look, you can go fuck off, man. Where are you gonna go? You gotta go back to Twitch if you want to go back to Twitch, man. Like, you know, and what's he gonna do? He's gonna do this and he's gonna get pissed off. So I think this is a posturing moment, right? To see if they'll bend, and if YouTube is smart, they will not.
They won't. No.
You know,
they'll tell them eat a fucking dick, go somewhere else, or shut up and stream.
Right. So, you know, I think, you know, and this may be a rumbling where, I mean, he doesn't have the money to do it, but maybe he buys fucking Twitch. Who fucking knows, man? Like, how would that go full circle? Just to be like, oh, you banned me off of Twitch, but I'm gonna buy you. Like, that's an Elon Musk move, bro.
He doesn't have a couple billion.
No, but he could go. I mean, he could partner up with some other people and buy it. I mean,
he could do what we were thinking he was gonna do.
And Ninja have enough to be able to buy out Twitch.
I don't know. Who knows? I'm just saying. But anyway, that's happened too. So now you've got Doc.
No. My biggest thing is I would like to know if it is posturing and he's just bitching, or if it's that he knows something that we don't know about.
I think there's some frustration there. I think that he probably came to the platform, and because he's now been there for what, almost 2 years. So, you know,
yeah, almost.
I think him going to the platform, I'm sure he did come and go like, dude, let's do this right.
What the fuck?
Like, yeah. Well, I think he came in and was like, look, man, I can make it. Like, and look, I'm not gonna fucking sugarcoat anything. Doc going to YouTube, I 100% believe it fucking fired YouTube up to go, oh shit, right? So I am gonna give Doc some credit. YouTube streaming prior to Doc being there was a fucking shit show, and no one cared.
No, and say what you want about the guy, but his, like you've said it multiple times yourself, and like his quality
it's insane.
Is up there.
Yeah, it's great.
It's insane.
I mean, his production value is phenomenal. So I can tell you that if I'm in the YouTube gaming camp, if that guy comes and tells me, hey man, I got an idea, this is what we need, like, I'm gonna sit down and go, cool, let's you know what, let's do it, let's whatever you want, like, make the guy feel valued, because I guarantee that's probably a part of it. He's not feeling valued in a way of like, you're not gonna get the monetary, right? But at the same time, make him feel valued in the sense that his ideas and opinions are getting heard. Maybe they are, and they're taking longer than what he wants, but I really have to believe that he's probably come in and been like, look, man, we need raids. Look, we need this, we need that. We need, you know, these kind of things. Like, I need to be able to switch games without having to fucking, like, all that kind of stuff. And they're probably dragging their feet on some of it. So I'm sure it's a little bit of both. I don't think it's just a one-off, one thing only. So
I'm not going to argue with you. I mean, with that information in tow, I'm sure that it's a little bit of posturing, because he does have that kind of a attitude, obviously, right, where he thinks he's better than everyone. But
yep,
I mean, you can look back into like the games that he plays. He will talk shit and say that a game's the worst thing, uninstall it, try something else, and then he'll be back to
except Elden Ring. He has done nothing but speak very highly.
I mean, that's a lot of streamers like that. You can say that about Shroud, you can say that about Ninja, you can say that about a lot of streamers.
That about Sin.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. How about that? Well, speaking about games and what people are playing, this is now moving into what we are playing section. And Bill, you've been playing a new game called, well, it's not out yet, but it's called Thymesia.
Yeah, Thymesia demo that you're playing here.
This is the demo. It came out a couple of days ago. It's very short. If you play through it, it's only about a 20-minute demo. But it is a new.
Looks pretty dope.
Yeah, it's a new Souls-like-ish game. It's more akin to Sekiro than it is a Dark Souls, but it's
I got really heavy Sekiro and like blood
like
vibes.
It reminds me of Ninja Gaiden. Like, I get a very Ninja Gaiden feel.
It looks like Tim Burton meets Bloodborne. It plays like Sekiro with a few like added quirks to it. So long and short of the plot, there's a plague going through the land. You play as a plague doctor named Corvus. And
isn't that Dishonored?
No, that's Corvo.
Oh, okay, my bad.
All plague doctors are called like Corvus or some shit.
Yeah, right.
But basically, the kingdom is using alchemy to turn the plague into the cure, but it's starting to fail. Kind of very similar to a Bloodborne style plot.
That just cracks me up. The plague doctor. If I can't cure it, I'll kill it.
So it's, as I said, it's very Sekiro-esque in its mechanics. It's very much centered around parrying outside of blocking. or well, I don't even think you can block. I think it's exclusively parrying or dodging. You might be able to get a tool later to block, but and the dodge is extremely limited. It's a single dash dodge. The iframes are very specific. They really want you to stay engaged with combat. The things that get this game a little bit different from Sekiro and some of the other games of its ilk are the health system and the plague weaponry mechanics. So to kind of break that down, the health system, in some games like Sekiro, it had your health bars and it had your stamina bars, where if you max either one of those, you could kill an enemy. This game has a double health feature as well, but it's based around wounds. So it's every enemy has a blue bar and a red bar. The blue bar is their wounds bar. The red bar is their health bar. Attacking with your like R1s and such will decrease the blue bar down and expose their red bar. And you have this claw attack that you can use to go in and swipe them, and it attacks the red bar directly if it's exposed. You will not be able to attack the red bar with the saber unless you drain the blue bar all the way down. So
it's got like almost a stagger system to it.
Yeah.
From other games. Gotcha.
Yeah. Only like I said, once you get the blue bar down, you're not going to stagger the enemy out.
Yeah.
It just allows you to attack that red bar directly. So there's two different ways you can play. You can play hyper aggressive, whittle the blue bar down all the way with the saber, and then continue that assault with the saber to take the red bar down at that point. Or you can kind of chip a little bit of the blue bar off, back off, go in for a claw swipe, sweep away that red bar that you've exposed, and then move forward. The blue bar, if you leave an enemy like unattacked for so long, that blue bar heals back up to wherever the red bar is at. So if you've taken half of an enemy's red bar away, their blue bar is only going to heal up to that halfway point.
Huh.
And this goes for bosses as well.
Is this a boss that you're fighting now?
No, this is just an elite style enemy. Okay. If you skip to the last like 5 minutes of the video,
I'm curious before you skip, there's like this like white like arc that was coming out from you guys. Is that like a questing like quest point system or whatever?
That's just the
like
that arc is just it's the lock-on system. It just
lock-on system. Okay.
Yeah, it gives you like a detection of who.
I was just curious what that was. If it was like a system like in what was that Japanese game with the samurai that fucking Sin hated? No, the other one on PlayStation.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. I was curious if it was like a directional system or not.
Nah, it's just a lock on to help you focus on whoever you're actually attacking.
Gotcha.
Trying to get to a boss here.
There's only one boss of the demo. Like I said, the demo is extremely short.
Why they not wanting to respond? I don't know. Videos being weird.
But it's really good. It's a really fun time. The mechanics are very tight. They're almost too tight. I think they need to expand the parry windows a little bit just to make it a little bit more accessible, because I feel like right now I was able to learn it, but I've also played Sekiro heavily and am used to these style games, like used to getting parry systems down. I think somebody new coming into this style game, especially from an indie game, you're going to want to make a good first impression. And in its current state, I think a lot of people may get overly put off by the difficulty of what the game is expecting of you. It has a very this demo definitely shows the intent of what it wants to do, but whether people are willing to embrace the difficulty and actually get to the learning curve, or whether they just put it down because it's too much effort, is to be seen. There's a few other what's up?
Okay.
There's a few other mechanics in the game. That claw swipe that I was telling you about that you can use to take off the red bar. You can also use that to steal moves from enemies. So if you do a charged claw, it turns it into a grab, so you can like grab hold of somebody and like extract the plague from them and
That's
then
cool.
use that as a weapon for one attack.
Is that the feathers? I heard somebody talking about something about like a feathers.
There's also a
attack.
feather toss system. Yeah, it's the feather toss system is a secondary parry type thing. You toss a
okay.
bladed feather at somebody, and if an enemy is doing a specific attack that is unparryable, you can toss a feather at them instead, and it staggers them. It basically is like pocket sand.
Okay.
Dude,
It's a really janky system. In a lot of situations, I would rather dodge than use that. If it's really good if somebody's using like an unblockable gap closer, because since it is a projectile, there's kind of that like middle ground where the feather is going to meet them in the middle, and it's all good. But if it's like a point blank thing, it felt really awkward to use.
So,
and what also felt awkward to use was the plague weapons in their current state, because a few gripes that I have with the demo and the game in its current state is enemies and bosses are very hyper armor based. So if an enemy is anywhere in their attack animation, whether they're winding up their attack animation or in the middle of it, they get hyper armor. You will not be able to stagger them out of that hyper armor with anything.
Wow.
And a lot of these animations that you need to do, like a claw swipe or a charged claw to be able to steal an ability, or the abilities themselves lock you into animations that you can't, there's no cancel out of them. You can't roll cancel, you can't attack cancel, nothing. So if you commit to doing one of those animations and the enemy just happens to go into an attack animation of themselves, your attack will go through, but you'll also end up eating the enemy's attack. So wow. I feel like if they want this plague weapon system to really work, they need to make it so that those weapons stagger enemies out of their attack animations. If they did that, it would incentivize you actually going through with trying to acquire them and make the risk to reward worth it. In its current state, I would rather just saber parry and claw swipe.
So is there an RPG element to this at all, or is it just straight?
There is.
Yeah, I was going to ask as well if there was an RPG element, or if there was like an open world element like we had with Elden Ring.
There's no open world element. It's very linear based. There is an RPG element. They're going a skill tree route where you can spend XP to unlock different nodes in a skill tree. I don't know the extent of the skill tree because none of that stuff was available in the demo. You just had your you just had your basic setup. So
is there going to be like invading or anything like that?
No PvP, as far as I know. It's a strictly PvE experience.
When is?
So, I mean, I guess Sekiro didn't have PvP. That's not really that bad of it.
Not every Souls-like game has to have it.
Yeah, so strictly PvE experience. I wish we would have gotten hands-on with some of the skill tree. The only thing that we had access to was the bonfire system. You get XP throughout the demo, but you can't spend it on anything. That's all grayed out. So
are you able to see? But you are able to see the XP tree.
No, you're not even able to get up to the skill trees themselves.
Interesting.
So you don't even know how big
when's
the tree is.
Oh, you can see the XP that you've gained. It's calculated for you, and whenever you die, you do have to run up and like grab your XP from a bloodstain, similar.
No, that's what I was saying. Like,
all the other
but you can't see the tree. You can't actually see the tree, so you don't know how many skills where it goes. Like,
no, they showed a little bit of the skill trees in the trailer, like the release date trailer that came out with the demo. You can see a little bit of it if you pause and look, but
okay.
From what I saw, there's a few like different counters. Like there's a skill in the skill tree that's like a Makiri counter for like thrusting attacks, similar to Sekiro, where if an enemy is doing a thrusting attack, there's a move that you can do to counter them in that regard. There's also, from what I saw, if you look in the bottom right, if you're watching live or in the video, you have that plague ability that I just used, but beside of it, there's another diamond. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a slot for like a permanent ability.
The locked one, is that like locked, that slot?
Yeah, we didn't have access to anything in that slot, so it's either going to be for consumables, throwables, or a like permanent sidearm ability.
What when does this game come out?
But the base mechanics are fun.
When's it coming out?
Yeah, so
August 9th.
So it's still got some time.
It's got about 3 months to get it shipped together. Which
do you think it's gonna make that, or
Yeah, I think it's polished enough that it will come out. Whether it succeeds or not is, I hope they take feedback from the demo very seriously.
Do we have a price point for it as well, or no? Have they not announced?
I do not know. Give me one second.
I can look.
Take a look at that. But most of the people that I've talked to about it have shared the same complaints. It's too hyper armored. It's too hyper armor dependent. There's a lot of RNG elements that make some of the encounters not fun.
Yeah.
This spear guy in particular, enemies have the ability to deflect your attacks. And in Sekiro, there was a cadence to it where you knew where in your attack chain somebody was going to deflect your attack, so you could like get on the defensive. Here, it's very random. It could be the first attack gets deflected. It could be the last attack that gets deflected. They could not deflect you at all. And then whatever they do off of those deflects is also random. On top of, as I said, if they're in the middle of an attack animation, they get hyper armor, and they could rapidly go from one attack string to another without you being able to get in and do any kind of damage at all. And they can bust out of your like stagger pretty well at any point as well. You can get one attack in and it recoils them, and then the next attack they're back into an attack chain, or they could let you hit them all 3 times and they stagger all 3. It's very odd.
People are saying it's probably gonna be around $40. Is what?
Yeah, I was about to say it
30 to
like
40.
30 or 40. Yeah,
could be. Yeah,
I'm not seeing anything on their Steam page though. So
40 sounds about right. I think that's the price point Mortal Shell came out at. Yeah. This is probably around Mortal Shell like
the indie Souls like price point,
which I loved. Mortal Shell. If this game's at least Mortal Shell's quality or better, I will thoroughly enjoy it. I just hope it's not like a Hellpoint, because Hellpoint.
Long as they don't have a goddamn katana that turns into an axe, I'll be okay.
Fucking Axaton is still constant to this day.
Solid hot topic, man.
Well,
it's really good.
Nice.
Moving on, Scruffy, talk to us about what is it? Rogue Legacy Hero Duo 2, number
Rogue
7.
Heroes, Runes of Tezos.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So this game's cool. It's a co-op action adventure game. It's as you can see if you're watching the video, it's like heavily inspired by Legend of Zelda franchise, like A Link to the Past kind of is what it's been touted kind of. It's a lot of fun. It's a co-op. You play as like these little heroes. You have like 10 classes to go through, and it's kind of like a roguelite in a sense. You kind of just start out as like a fresh hero who was saved off the road or whatever, and you have to kind of build up this town, but by doing that you have to explore this map and go through these dungeons, which honestly they're pretty tough. You have to like kind of armor yourself up each time and to make it further and further within them. But it's not bad, man. If you're familiar with games so like Moonlighter, it's kind of got the feel to that, where like I said, you're going through these dungeons repeatedly and building up a town. It doesn't have the shop dynamic of that, but it's got like, in my eyes, kind of almost like a Stardew Valley feel to it, because you're building like taverns, inns, armories, and whatnot. I played this on my 24-hour with my buddy J-Tan, and it's actually pretty freaking difficult too. It really punishes you for being greedy in these dungeons. And you gather these like gems or whatever that you use to upgrade your town, but you cannot, once you exit a dungeon or die in a dungeon, you get gems. You cannot re-enter the dungeon with the gems. They'll either delete or you have to spend them. So that's where it's like you almost restart every time, but you keep making more progress to these dungeons. And now, so we didn't play too much of it, but as far as I can tell, it is an open world game that you kind of go into these like dungeons and instances.
This is heavily inspired by Zelda: Link to the Past.
It is. They even like openly say that like it's a very homage to that game. But Yeah, man, it's pretty cool. It's got 10 classes to play as. From what I can tell, the classes kind of offer you a little bit of a difference. They give you one new ability each class and like differentiating stats to your character. And it's got a whole skill tree and everything that you can kind of level up depending on where you want to go down, whether you want to go down magic, melee, or ranger. The classes, I mean, they even have classes like witch, reaper, I think, and knights. It's
she's got a necromancer.
I knew it was coming.
That might be the reaper. I don't think there's any sort of summoning though.
Shit game. Hate it.
Leave it to Enigma to only play a game if it has a necromancer.
What? How many?
It's an interesting game though, man. There's even like, so you collect these items that you use, and at one point I actually got hard locked, and I had to like just restart the run in one of these dungeons because J-Tan picked up a grapple hook that we needed to get past a certain point, and when he picked it up, it allowed me to use it as well, which was kind of weird. But we got past that point. He died, and I had to go resurrect him. But I went back into a room that needed the grapple hook. But since he was dead, I couldn't use it anymore, and I couldn't get out of the room. So it was a little rough. I don't know.
That seems like an oversight, but
yeah, it might just be an oversight. But at least they gave you an option to, restart. At least I thought I would have to Alt F4. Was one of those. I was worried.
How many players is this?
4, I think, up to 4. So one to 4 players, I believe. It's a cute little game, man. I don't know. It's
there's a demo.
Only played a little bit of it so far, but
yeah, there's a demo of it up right now. So
I don't know if the demos go up, but if it is, I would definitely.
No, the demo. I'm saying there's a demo. There's a demo. I'm looking at it. There's a demo right now. You can download it and play the demo if you want.
Yeah, no, I know. I just don't know if that's open to co-op or if it's single player demo.
No, I'm just
but yeah, man. I mean, it's for a $20 game. I think it's pretty fairly priced. It's a good time. It's got a lot to it from what it seems. There's multiple like maps and zones that you can go through. So
awesome.
We're tossing a pot.
Well, another game that you played during your 24-hour that is also multiplayer is
we had a lot of fun with this one, didn't we? Say
I didn't because I wasn't there and I wasn't playing it.
Yeah, Enigma was not playing this at all. Yeah, this is Pico Park, and this is another just a small little fun game. This one is a puzzle game though, which it's 2 to 8 player puzzle game. It's very, very heavily focused on cooperation. In the sense of if one person fails, everyone fails. And oh boy, did Sin take advantage of that.
Fuck yes, I did.
Yes, Sin, you did.
Yeah. He was being great. A menace, bro.
It was great. Well, you get to take on the role of an asshole if you want.
Like, are these all like different online people?
These were all online people that we were playing with. It's a lot of fun though, man. Like I said, it's a little puzzle game. It's literal, like it's described as a casual puzzle game. This is anything but casual.
I was about to say, I don't know how casual this was.
It's
man.
Not casual. Well, you didn't play. You wouldn't know. I mean,
yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
At one point, we were supposed to be playing with friends only, and there was a mystery person in our game. We couldn't figure out who it was. We didn't even notice he was there for the longest time.
It's all right. I bullied the shit out of him, so he.
Yeah. Poor Purple.
It's okay. I bullied the shit out of I mean Purple bullied the shit out of Sin after.
Yeah, Enigma at one point snuck into our game too without us knowing.
Oh, I didn't know you're talking about.
I figured it out though. I went to his he was hiding. He was invisible, and I went to his profile and was like, "You own this game." Anyway, it was a blast though. It was also a headache and stress because Sin. Directly because of Sin.
Yeah, if you ever want to play a co-op game like at all that requires teamwork, don't do it with Sin.
I mean, it was look. The point of this is that you can play a fucking villain
and to beat the puzzles together.
You have
not to throw yourself.
It's the fishing Hamlet all over again.
It is, man. It is
pretty much, man.
Consistently either blocked us, walked away, fell off the map so it would restart. Anything he could do and everything.
I had a blast. It was fun for me.
Yeah, I'm glad. No, it was fun though. We all had a really good time. And for literally a price point of like $5, like I can't recommend, giving this a shot with anybody and all of your friends, because it really just is chaotic fun. It's like what is that game? Overcooked. It's chaotic fun. It's stressful, but once you complete a level, it's like thank God we made it past with Sin somehow.
I trolled in every way I possibly can.
Yeah,
we are.
We are gonna beat that level.
Unless Sin fucks it.
Wait, I don't remember. Sin might actually. There was a point we beat a level and then he goes back and jumps off.
There was multiple points that he did. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, this one. See, that wasn't me. That was Gray. Gray was fucking that one up. But and there's multiple different levels too that you can do. So like there's different you have different worlds that you clear and all this kind of stuff.
There was like at least 8 or 12 levels I think I saw, and each level. I mean, I should say category. Like each level has 4 levels inside of it.
Yeah.
So
here you go. This is kind of showing you different kind of styles, and you have to you'll have to have people like it'll be like a wall that says you have to have 4 people here to push this, or like this one. Fuck, dude, this one pissed me off so bad because you had to collect these stupid coins. It was really simple, but
it was simple.
It was trying to like herd cats to be like, hey, 3 people go to the left.
It's the coordination that we needed was so simple, but we just couldn't get it down.
Remember the one where we had to jump over the fucking buttons?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had to jump over the
very
buttons
last
and time them.
That was the very, very last one.
Yeah. And like I said, literally, it takes one person. It takes one person.
And I'm usually that person. So.
Usually, yeah. That's Pico Park. It's literally $5 on Steam. It's a good time.
It was fun. Yeah. I don't know. I have my own opinions on it. I don't think it should have been $5, but that's just I'm not a big fan of the whole party games. So
I don't think $5 is.
I mean, I had fun with that, but I don't know if it was worth $5. I just have a hard time with because it only had 8 levels, and granted they all had 5 or 6 like little instances of it, but I don't know. It was fun. It was a good time for what we played.
All right, moving on. I have also I'll talk about this quickly because this is probably gonna be heated. I don't know how heated it'll be, but it'll be heated enough. Okay, you're not looking at Overwatch 1. You're not. This is Overwatch 2. This is the Overwatch 2 beta.
Yes, you are.
This is Overwatch 1.
The reason let me pause real quick right here. The reason that I am specifically showing you this part of it is because if you were not to know, right, that I'm playing Overwatch 2, you would assume I'm playing Overwatch 1. Because if you can see right here, and if you're watching live, Overwatch 2, they basically took out one role, which was the tank. So there used to be in Overwatch 1, it was 6 characters or 6 roles, 2 tanks, 2 DPS, 2 heals. They have now taken out one of the tanks, and so it's now 1 tank, 2 DPS, 2 heals. They added a character and they tweaked some of the other characters.
They added the same character.
Yeah,
they added another version of the character.
Sojourn, which is a soldier-like character. She sprints. She has a machine gun and a rail gun. And instead of healing, she throws down a gravity, basically a DPS ability.
So it's basically the female version of soldier.
It is
kind of, yes. So
pretty much.
Here's what I'll say, right? Like Overwatch. One of the things about Overwatch that I did not like was it wasn't the shoot. Like the game felt good. It like shooting wise, I enjoyed it. Like mechanic wise, I really enjoyed it. The thing that I did not like about Overwatch was this idea of it felt very rubber bandy. Like it felt like it was just this and when I say rubber bandy, I mean like if you ever played Mario Kart AI, or even just versus regular people, there is a forgiveness meter that basically exists in that game. You don't see it, but if you're in last place or you're like in 7th, 8th, it's going to give you blue shells. It's going to give you things to get you back into being like competitive up against the first person. So it really benefits you, honestly, to be like number 2 or 3 in that in Mario Kart. It's the same thing here, right? Like it felt like that in Overwatch, where it was very much like okay, like if you're not winning, like you're getting your ultimate a lot faster. People are stacking ultimates, like, and they're just going in and just obliterating you, and then it's flipped. Like it's whoever can get their ult first, and that's who's going to win. Like it did not feel very skill based. Now I know there are people that play this at a very high skill level. I'm not talking about that, right? I'm talking about just the average everyday player jumping in. What I will say is that the change to having one less tank, though very small, does make it feel a lot better. It plays a lot better because you're not having to deal with 2 shields, 2 fucking big DP, stuns, 2 like people that you like are have massive health pools that you have to deal with and take down. So DPS can effectively do their job, healing can effectively do their job, and a tank can effectively do their job. So it feels very, very good. I would much rather play Overwatch 2 than I would to play Overwatch 1.
But it's the same game.
It's the same game.
I'm not going to deny, like, me and Enigma went back and forth and argued about this, right? It's not like, I don't agree with them calling it Overwatch 2. That is a fucking sham of a thing. Them saying this is Overwatch 2 is ridiculous. Yeah, it's
I wouldn't
literally
even call it 1.1. I'd call it like 1.05, man.
I don't know why they didn't go down the Valorant route of just being like, it's Overwatch and we're gonna update do what they were like. You're gonna update characters. It's a free to play game. If you want characters, buy them. If you don't, that's it. Like, move them into like, I don't, have it do a free to play update and make the game free to play. Like them pushing this idea of like, oh, people want to play a PvE verse, a PvE game. Nobody, no, who's asking for that? Who's asking for a PvE version of Overwatch? Like, yeah, they had the events that came out.
The events were fun. Well, I didn't want a full game of that.
Are you gonna spend $60 for it?
Hell no.
So that's what it, that's the thing. Like, it's $60 worth of that, because you get Overwatch 2 PvP for free if you own Overwatch 1. Like, which even further pushes the point.
I'm still skeptical on what they're going to pull.
Honestly, like, I'm still skeptical if that's actually going to be the truth.
The updates of like the core gameplay of it, but they're gonna. I believe they're going to do something of whether it's locking behind, the new characters or the new maps or something like that to people who haven't bought the second Overwatch.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like
and that's also counting the people that already own it, right? That's just the people that already own it. The people that don't own it right now are still going to have to pay for essentially.
Yes, if Overwatch. You do not. So if you that's the key thing. If you don't own Overwatch already, right? Which I don't know where their cutoff time is. Like, you don't get access to Overwatch 2 PvP. Yeah. Like, I think you had to.
I mean, like, that makes sense, but like, so you can't just buy the PvP of Overwatch 1. You have to buy the package deal.
You have to buy. So like right now, as it's, again, I need to make sure that everybody understands that we do not have a firm confirmation from Blizzard on where the cutoff point is, but it has been said that you have to have already owned Overwatch, right? It's not they're like, the rumor and the feeling is that if you don't already own it now, if you go to buy Overwatch, let's say this month, next month, or whenever this beta is over, you will not get Overwatch 2 for free. Like, you will have to buy Overwatch 2 to get it.
Wow. And Overwatch 1 is going to be taken over by Overwatch. Like, Overwatch 1 is going to be...
Overwatch 1 is going to go away. I guess. I mean, because the way that you access Overwatch...
That's the confusing thing, right? Like, that's the biggest confusing thing, is because technically Overwatch 1 is Overwatch 2. It's the same fucking thing, right? Like, they're just lumping everything into one. So if you buy Overwatch 1... Are you playing with people that are playing Overwatch?
I don't know. I don't know. The problem is that the way that you launch Overwatch 2 is through Overwatch 1.
It's through Overwatch 1, exactly.
Really?
Well, the beta right now, you have to install Overwatch 1, and then you go and you check the Overwatch 2 box, and then
that's so
play
weird.
that,
and it adds the content on.
And that's the thing that really gets me, is like, they literally had all of that ready to just update Overwatch 1 if it's a simple check of a box.
I mean,
this is literally paying for a performance patch.
Essentially,
exactly.
Yeah, it's paying for a new character and some tweaks.
Yeah,
I mean, like again, the game does feel good. Like it plays well.
It's just Overwatch, though. They didn't change the maps. They didn't change the characters that much, outside of taking away a few.
The biggest thing is the minus of the tank. The one of the tank rolls. That's the biggest change.
Absolutely, that's what I've said. But it's still. I've never said that.
Everything else down to the core is just Overwatch.
Yeah, but and again, I'm not justifying this Overwatch 2. Like I've said, it should have just been
how dare you enjoy
free to play. Yeah, but like it is an enjoyable game.
You
like,
didn't enjoy Overwatch 1. You have no reason to enjoy.
I did enjoy Overwatch 2.
I fail to believe that removing one tank just changes the game.
It does. It does. It really does. It 100% does.
Your taste in gaming, it just gets more.
You know what, Bill? I'm happy. I have Bill on my side tonight.
So I really, honest to God, Scruffy, I need you. Maybe like I will let you log into my account and play this because I need you to, like, you played Overwatch more than anybody on this podcast.
Played a lot of Overwatch.
Who are you talking about?
Huh?
You don't know me.
I damn well know that you did not play enough. You
did not play Overwatch. He's faker, man. He's actually
played a ton of Overwatch 1.
I guarantee you didn't play as much as Scruffy did.
You don't know me.
I do. I know you enough, Bill.
I probably have like I don't have a significant amount of time. I probably have like around 50-ish hours in Overwatch 1.
600 hours on Hanzo.
I don't know. I'm just saying you can't really say that Scruffy played more Overwatch when he literally just played Hanzo.
That might be true. That might stand, honestly. Okay, but no, I do have to get my hands on it to really give it a try. But I have real no desire because it is Overwatch 1.
And look, I don't get where people are saying, like, I did not say that I do not like Overwatch 1. I just said
you did though.
The only thing I did not like about Overwatch was literally the fact that the rubber banding mechanic, like that's it. It just felt
I'm pretty sure that the words "I hate this game" came out of your lips multiple times when you played fucking Overwatch 1. I remember specifically several times watching you play Overwatch 1, being like, "This game fucking sucks. I hate it."
And so
what
the removal
is saying is he didn't like teams being able to make a comeback. He would rather it just be a snowbally mess, which is what this game is. With one tank, this game is a snowbally mess. You kill the tank and you still have your tank available. You pile drive through them and you get a good chunk of your progress done. The rubber bandiness was part of the experience. It was part of the back and forth between the games. Yes, as the attacking team pushed forward into the defense objective, the defense was going to get objectives because that's the way the game's balanced. This makes it so that it is easier just for the attack to steamroll.
Hey, let me
ask I will say as well, like one of my biggest complaints from playing it was like the imbalance of certain maps. Like there was certain maps that if you
100% the newer maps
if you just got to a certain point before the other team, it was done. You were fucked.
Especially the hold or the defense and attack points.
Yeah.
Like
Blizzard World, I think is what it was called, or Overwatch World or whatever, that theme park. That one was fucked, dude. Like if you got to that middle point, that choke point first, it was done. You were there was no fucking winning it.
Let me ask a question real quick to the three of you. Which one of you three has played Overwatch 2? Oh, none of you? Okay, cool. So shut the fuck up.
I mean,
how about that?
I played Overwatch 1 and that's the same game.
I don't get that's great. It's not Overwatch 2. Like, you can't sit here and argue a point saying that the game doesn't feel different.
You are arguing that Overwatch 2 is actually its own game when
that's not what I said. That's holy shit, man.
Pumping into
Hey, that's not what I said. That's definitely not what I said. In fact, go back and watch the VOD. Go back and watch. I'm
pretty sure that I have a clip of you saying that it is not the same game.
Son of a bitch, man.
I'm like 90% sure that I clipped it because I sent it to you while we were playing it, and that's where you
I
got all
literally
pissed off
on this fucking cast just said that this fucking game is not the
now after I clipped it, and then you changed your fucking tune.
Bro, I'm not changing my fucking tune. Like, okay, yeah, you guys you're poking the bear real fucking hard, and I'm just telling you that the reality of it is that take the fucking.
Why we're defending a performance patch.
I'm not defending a performance patch. I'm saying that if you take out the goddamn, you take out the tank and it feels like a different. It feels different. It plays different. You take out one of those roles and it plays. Go play the fucking game and then come and talk to me. Like, go play.
I believe that the tank changes. Like I said, I think the tank change is the biggest thing. I just don't see anything past that making the game any different. I can see that the games that the games might not be maybe as chaotic, having one less person being also a tank.
Like they'll be more frustrating because it's going to be a lot snowballier.
I
genuinely think they took the ebb and flow of attacking and defending out, and they just made it so that one side's going to steamroll the other 90% of the time.
Especially considering the fact of what I said. Especially considering the fact of what I said, that most of their new maps, if you get to a certain point before the other team, it's done. And if you kill the other team's tank before that other team can get there, you're entrenched. It's done. There's no
especially with Hanzo players.
Especially with Hanzo players, they're the worst.
Play the game and we'll come talk about it. I mean, it does. It's.
But I will point out that the only reason why I gave you so much shit was because of the amount of shit you gave me for the last podcast, with even remotely saying anything positive about the changes that they were doing to World of Warcraft.
Both of you are Blizzard shills, and I'm just
the only reason why I was like, what the fuck, dude? Why are you doing this? Was because I was like, literally not, but like less than 48 hours later or earlier, you were like, you're a fucking Blizzard shill. Why are you fucking even saying anything nice about World of Warcraft? How dare you? I
never
hate
called
you.
you a Blizzard shill. Never called you a Blizzard shill. Like I'm not saying like I already we don't have, and we're not going to go back into the whole thing about World of Warcraft or whatever else. And again, I am giving them kudos into this game where they deserve kudos. And it's just the fact that, in my opinion, the game feels different. Again, it's not, I'm not, and I need you morons to understand, I am not saying it's a fucking different game. I am saying the game feels different.
It's fine. I think really the biggest thing to me, it comes down to how they're handling it. Like, end of the day, this
it's a shit way of handling it.
It's a standard Blizzard. It's a standard Blizzard practice. Like it's like Stevens is saying the same thing in my chat. He's saying it's like when Diablo 3 expansions came out, we paid Blizzard for fixing errors.
Yeah, it's bullshit. They shouldn't. This should have been a free to play fucking game. Like, they shouldn't have been
I think we all agree on that. Like, it is a ridiculous. It's a ridiculous tactic that Blizzard should not have pulled. I don't know who the fuck in the
right now.
Yeah, testing out Soldier.
I don't know who in the fuck in the Blizzard like the development department was like, hey, let's do a fucking balance patch and call it Overwatch 2, because that was the worst fucking idea in the world. And they got ridiculed, and they will continue to get ridiculed for it.
Yep. So, the last game that we have been playing. And this one is a free-to-play game and is doing it right, in our opinion, or at least my opinion, is Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt. This game kind of dropped out of nowhere. I mean, they had a beta that was going on, and it was an open beta for a while.
We knew what was going on.
No, but I'm saying the release of it. Like, I don't think we knew it was coming out. And this is a... It's built in the Vampire Masquerade world, or lore. It is not by the same company, so it's published and produced by Shark Mob.
Shark Mob. So, and I think we were being confused by Fat Shark. Shark Mob. Yeah, this is their only game.
Yeah.
Yes, this is their only game. So you essentially, it is a 1v1, now a 2v2, or sorry, a solo 2v2, a duo
just
and a
trios today. So
but
did they? I thought I would. Yeah. Were we not playing duos the other day? I thought we were.
You were playing trios, duos, and trios.
Huh?
Right.
Yeah. I thought we were playing duos.
So the idea here is you have the Vampire Masquerade classes, or clans, right? That you can choose from. You have different vampires you get to choose from that have different abilities, and it's a BR. But the crazy thing about this, and Enigma can definitely attest to it, as someone who hates BRs, right, and just does not enjoy BRs, he is enjoying this game. It is.
Yeah, there's certain aspects to it. Yeah, there's certain aspects to it that I'm like, okay, this is fun. There's all. I mean, it is a BR. I have to suck it up and be like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of BRs, because I'm not. I don't like the like rush quickness of it and shit, but. I think they do a good idea or a good job with it. Like, it's not as punishing as some of the other BRs that we played, at least. So
And it's good. I think it comes down to the fact that like both the solos and trios offer you kind of a forgiveness of whether your teammates go down or you die. You can only there's ways to get back into the game. It's you don't just die and it's over, which is nice.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
and like I think they did a really good job with singles as well. Like I haven't personally played them, but like the fact that don't you have like 3 or 4
lives, and you can collect another life, but you can't stack them.
That's crazy, man. Like that's actually a really good way of doing things, because it doesn't punish solo players.
Yeah,
you know.
Exactly.
And whereas in a lot of these BR games, they kind of negate you from playing solo by how much of a punishment solo play is.
Yeah.
So the big thing here is that, and kind of what you're seeing, right, is that a lot. There's a lot of going on. There's a lot of mobility. There's a lot of abilities. Like there's, weapon variety, melee weapons. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of stuff. And the cool thing that I like about it, is that a lot of times when we get outplayed, it's usually because we got outplayed. Like we got third party because we made a stupid move. We didn't have the verticality. Like our communication wasn't there. Whereas a lot of games, like in the BR sense, it's just like, oh, that person just had a better gun. Like a lot of times, like, we can go into a fight with a fucking shitty gun, but still be able to win because we use our abilities properly. Like, and we position better. And so I don't know. It's like,
I feel like all the guns are balanced really well around each other.
Yeah,
right? Like there's no actual gun other than, I would say, the fucking crossbows, which I think need a little bit of rework. But they still do a decent amount of damage. Like crossbows do a shit ton of damage, but they like the trajectory speed and like the arc of them, just it feels weird compared to the other guns. And I think that's one thing that they need to. They either need to remove crossbows. Yeah, they either need to remove crossbows entirely, or they need to make them a little bit more, bit like the projectile speed needs to be a little bit quicker.
To be actually compatible with all the other guns in this game, I think. So.
Yeah, because like I think that, in my opinion at least, that's the weapon that least shines in my eyes right now. The rest of them I can pick up like a pistol or the Taurus or whatever it is, the revolver. Any of the guns do extremely well no matter where you're at. Long range, short range, doesn't matter, as long as you have enough skill and you're good enough with them.
Yeah, like Sim was saying, you can literally rely on your abilities and movement to outplay other people. So
exactly. The other good thing too is, and it's crazy, because like there's no vibration. Like if you're playing on mouse and keyboard, there's no vibration. I don't know if you're playing on a controller if there's a vibration setting, but the guns, like there's a feel that they have, like when you hit somebody and you like the audio that you, I mean, I don't know, there's a sound, a feel, a weight that those guns have that just sound really good. I mean, there's a feel that you get when you hit somebody, you crack somebody, like you're like, I fucking cracked them. Like I downed them. I
really like the fact that you can kind of build your character out to be what you want your character to be. Because like my character is different from Sin's character, and Sin's character is different from Pika's character, right?
Yeah, you're talking about like the customization,
Pika goes completely in, all balls to the walls in on melee. Right. Yeah. I personally go completely into like movement abilities, like the teleportation ability cooldowns and everything like that. So like the fuck out of size.
Like that's a mechanic of like you eat civilians, or you feast on them, and depending on what civilian you feast on, they give you different traits, like lower cooldowns to your first ability or to your second ability, or regenerating health and melee damage. So there's different kind of builds you can go.
The other good thing too about this game that I think they nailed is there's a pacing to it that I've yet to see in a BR that handles it well. Like either they're too fast or they're too slow. Right? Like
it's just the right speed.
Yeah, PUBG felt very in a lot of aspects. PUBG felt very slow. Like the mid game was just extremely slow. Because like the early game was like a lot of fast. You drop in, there's shit everywhere. Then all of a sudden, mid game's nothing. Fortnite to me seems, I don't know. Nobody likes Fortnite, so
it's been all over the place, to be honest.
Right. So like this, the pacing of the matches just seem very like, okay, cool. Like this moment that you're in, you're looting, you're eating, you're whatever. You normally will find a team somewhere, within a fight. And then you can hear, I don't know, that you can hear all the way across the map. Like where people are at. Like it's just I don't know, man. They handled it very well. Like, again, very impressed. I played the beta of this and it was good. It wasn't this good. You know, there's still some quirks. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's some desync issues that they need to fucking fix. Mainly
registration, hit reg is
catching on like walls and shit. That's what's I think that's what's killed me more than me fucking up is me like getting caught on a bush or getting caught on a wall because it just says, oh fuck you, you're not going to climb anymore.
The great thing is they're aware of it, they're making note of it, and they're working on it. Like I actually just the other day talked to a QA tester, and he was asking me some questions to elaborate a little bit more on what kind of problems that we've been experiencing, and I was just letting him know about like the gas bug of where you're not inside of the gas but you're still taking damage of it, and the guns hit register. He's like, yes, we're aware of all that, and we are, you know, working as fast as we can to fix that. So I think that's already like they're listening to the community just by adding duos today. You know, people have been asking for duos, so it's not just trios and solos, you know, and they added that just today.
You guys, maybe you guys can tell me if I mean it's my opinion, but you guys can agree with me or disagree with me. But I personally think one of my biggest complaints is that I feel like the teams, like the 3-man team, is a little small in my opinion. I think a 4-man team would be a little bit better.
See, I disagree. I'm okay with there being a 4-man, but I just don't know if I think it'd be too chaotic in this map size, unless like we did say maybe they lower the amount of teams in the game. But still,
that was my only thing is like I think that if they did do 4-man teams, you would have to lower the amount of teams that were
still
inside.
Think about it being with the paceness of the game and everything. I think it's still a bit much because just getting third party alone by one more team is crazy, but it'd be so much crazier with you know, a whole team of 4. You know, third party. I don't know.
I think you got arguments for both directions. Honestly, like what one of the guys, Chicken Boy, that's saying in our chats is saying that they need a bigger map. I don't think they need a bigger map. This map is plenty big.
I think if they had this map and then tested like adding new maps like Apex does, you know, they add new maps and you know it changes kind of dynamics of things. I think that wouldn't be too bad.
So here's my thing about 4-man, right? And I'm not going to talk like I'm not taking in the player count or map size, whatever. So if you look at the dynamics of what a 3-man team does and adding that 4th person, so in a 3-man team, right, you have either a 1v1 fight, right, where each person is fighting their own, or in most cases it is a 2-person focuses in on one, and then that leaves 2 other people on the other team to focus somebody either on those same 2, or that leaves 1 person to now focus on 2 people. So it creates this push and pull where if you have 4 players, it basically says 2 people can focus on 2 people and that's it. So like you even out that thing. And I know it sounds crazy, but the reality of it is like if you look at why teams and actually Apex, I forgot the team that does Apex, EA, but Respawn, they talked about this because they tried doing more, right, and less, and they really fleshed out this thing that said 3-mans is really like a prime if you don't want to go above that because of the dynamic that it creates.
Also, I was gonna say with the characters and the abilities, you're either gonna have usually maybe because there are kind of classes of like DPS support and almost tank, not tank, but almost being like the brutes and stuff. You usually only have either one of each or maybe 2 support, being somebody that kind of heals or somebody that gives you eyes on people like intel and whatnot, and then usually have like 1 DPS more, and that's just based on the abilities. If you have more than that, you're gonna have maybe stacks of people who have, you know, a lot of support abilities or more DPS abilities. It might just mess with things a bit more. I don't know.
The problem with it is that you only have really 1 major supporter that does healing, and that's the what's called the
Muse.
The Siren, or the Muse. Yeah,
but then
granted, now support. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Now, support utility. Yes, I can agree with that, but the problem with that is that those support utilities are so situational. You can only put it out there once, and it only goes into 1 select position.
Yeah, it's more of a minor thing. I'm just kind of thinking of it too. But
what about 5-man?
You would definitely need a 5-man map. What if we did 50 v 50 v 50? No, I don't know. It's cool. I think I hope that they keep working on it. I do hope. I know that Enigma has said like they won't add new classes because it is saturated in that the Masquerade world. I think they'll add new stuff. Like I know that my thing is like the lore, the place setting is in the Masquerade, but I'm hoping that they are like we're gonna because it needs to
add, they might branch out a little bit,
right?
I don't know. They could, but it's not at that. Like it's like I said, at that point, it's not going to be a Vampire the Masquerade game. They might as well just call it.
Yeah, but this isn't a Vampire the Masquerade. This is just it's got the characters.
I don't know.
So.
What's that?
All right.
What'd you say?
Are perfect.
I said.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear what you said at the end of that.
Who? Me?
Both of you. Both you and Scrub.
I said that this still really isn't a Vampire Masquerade game. It's just in the in the world. It's just in the world.
No, it's 100% of everything is based off of Vampire the Masquerade. Bruja, all the classes, all the abilities, the lore. It's all in Vampire the Masquerade. 100%.
That's like saying that's what I'm saying. Like you could do it. Like they do Star Wars games. They've added Star Wars movies. They've added Star Wars that's non-canon. It still lives in the Star Wars universe. It's just not.
Yeah, but the Star Wars fan base is not too happy about it.
Well, I'm not.
I don't know. I don't. I think it'd be more welcomed in this setting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would be more welcome just for the simple fact that Vampire the Masquerade players are starved for content. But
it would definitely give the game longevity. So I don't know.
It's fun game to play. It's free to play, by the way. Try it out. It's free. It's only on PS5 and PC. Heads up, if you are playing on PS5, you cannot play with you cannot party up with PC players.
Group up
right now.
Yeah.
They are right now. So
Yeah,
I don't know if they're going to change it.
I don't know if they say they are working on though crossplay between grouping up. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine why they wouldn't, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we have 17 minutes to get through a bunch of shit, so buckle up. World of Warcraft, not World of Warcraft. Blizzard also announced another game. It is. I guess they've learned that we all have phones. It's taken them like 4 years, 3-4 years. It is a game.
Or is it a patch?
Nope, it's a game. It's a game. Go fuck yourself. So it is Warcraft Arclight Rumble. This game is
okay. Now you're really concerning me. Is it actually a game?
Yeah, it's a game.
Do you consider mobile games
yes.
games? I don't know.
Unfortunately, yes, it is.
It is.
So let me see if I can actually pull nope, I will not be able to. I can't. So it's a mobile game. It's very reminiscent of Clash of Clans. It's I don't know. I mean, I don't know, like,
fucking Blizzard is a scam company now, man. What the fuck?
Now
turning into a gotcha company at some point.
Now, sir, it's been a scam company for a long time.
Yeah, but they're not. They're selling $60 performance patches in mobile games. Come on now.
Yep.
All right, I'm putting up the extended gameplay trailer right now. Thank you to IGN for this. So here you go. This is what you're seeing. It's like Clash of Clans meets like a kind of a tower defense in a way.
This is hella cringe. Holy shit.
They're adding in raids and dungeons. They got in some trouble right off the bat because people are like, hold on one second. Is there loot boxes? Is this just a gotcha game? Like, is this just going to be whatever else? They're like, no, like, because at first it was like, oh, that you can, again, all mobile games, they got to make money somehow, right? So there's obviously a storefront, there's obviously stuff like that. And then they're like, you can, there's a store, and they're like, oh, but not that you can actually spend money on. But it's like, well, then how are you making money? Like, you got to make money off. You're not just going to put this out for free and it's just going to sit there. You're going to make money. But you have there's
the next Raid Shadow Legends.
Much, man.
I really think this is going to be like Clash Royale, or Clash of Clans.
This is so cringe.
So it's you can pre-register right now for a beta.
Oh boy.
It's a tower defense thing, RTS style. I don't know.
This is that good old. I think they own Clash of Clans. Do they not?
No.
Pretty sure they do.
At least this is a. Yeah.
Or no, they own the Candy Crush people. They own the all these Candy Crush is a part of their franchise. So this is just Activision being like, we need to make more money. stat. Give it to us. Fucking Warcraft lore.
I wish
That's
I would
great.
have.
Yeah,
I wish I would have.
Alright.
This would have been in the StarCraft universe. You know, what I mean, like we already have a Warcraft mobile game with Hearthstone. You know, and look, like there's nothing wrong with tower defense games. I mean, tower defense games, people play them. Like I
enjoy tower defense games.
I don't think any of us are saying that there's anything wrong with tower defense games. I think all of us are saying it's a fucking farce of a tower defense game that they're trying to pass off as a passable tower defense game that they're just going to monetize the fuck out of.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, there's PvP. I don't know. Who knows? Like I said, it's hard to believe trusting.
Are you defending this?
No, I'm just saying that.
Okay, I was about to say
no. I'm not saying like this is definitely a cash grab, like you know, or whatever. It's just a way of like them being like, oh, we're coming out with a new mobile game and we're not really gonna need to put a lot of thought into it. Like
came out with the Diablo mobile game. Is that a thing?
It's still coming. Diablo Immortal.
It's still coming. Yeah,
and now it's coming to PC.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were like, oh, sorry guys, we didn't know you wanted another Diablo game on PC. Let's just bring it out on PC, even though we told you all to fuck off and get phones.
The only acceptable mobile game that I'll ever accept is Genshin, honestly.
Well, I think that's the big argument here that a lot of people are like, is like, hold on one second. So you have Blizzard, which is known as a AAA, you know, title or AAA studio. You've got is it MiHoYo or MiHoYo that made fucking you know, Genshin Impact, and then you come out with this? Like, why would you?
Yeah,
like,
but again, you got to look at it as this isn't like it is Blizzard, but this isn't Blizzard. This is the Candy Crush portion of it, right?
But I'm not.
This is their section of the Candy Crush.
It's still mobile, man.
They're popping up.
It's still mobile.
It is still mobile, but Candy Crush isn't known for making the developers of Candy Crush aren't known for making high fidelity fucking MMOs.
I get it, but what I'm
milking middle-aged women that are bored.
Exactly.
But what I'm still saying though is that the landscape of mobile changes, right? Like it has changed with Genshin Impact coming out. It's no longer acceptable to just be like, oh, I'm just going to make a carbon copy card game or tower defense game or Candy Crush style game or whatever. I mean, there's a billion Clash Royale fucking clones. Like you could go out there and, I mean, good Lord, go on the store.
Well, that's
front, you know what I mean?
That's why they're making it, is because there's a billion and one plus.
Right. And look,
Clash
this is going to make a shit ton of money. I mean, it's going to make a fucking,
and they make money.
It's going to make a fuck ton. Like this is literally going to make a fuck ton of money. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I just am like, why did we not get World of Warcraft, you know, in a mobile version? Right? Why did we not get a Genshin Impact in a mobile version? Right? And I'm not saying that I know why.
Did they not talk about World of Warcraft on mobile?
No, this was it.
I thought they did. Was this it? Okay.
This is it. This was the announcement.
I got you. Okay. I didn't watch it, obviously, but
I hate it.
Yeah,
I do too. This is ridiculous.
And there's
it's just even more of Blizzard just trying to milk the fuck out of Warcraft to get as much money out of it as possible to their starved player base that they can fuck them over even more. So.
Yeah, and
I will say this is at least better than Warhammer or Warcraft Reforged.
Yeah. Warcraft 3 Reforged.
I don't know if that was that hard to do. It's not really that difficult. So, but yeah, that's the Warcraft mobile announcement. So
that's happening.
Cool.
Yep.
Next.
The Embracer Group acquired Sony, or not Sony, acquired Square Enix Montreal, Eidos Studios, Crystal Dynamics, and the Tomb Raider series. I'm trying to find all of the things that they picked up.
They got a lot. They got like
Deus
12
Ex,
plus.
Legacy of Kain, Tomb Raider, on top of, like I said, all of the Crystal Dynamics. So they got Marvel Avengers. They got, like I said, Eidos.
Nice. That's a big win.
Well, I'm hoping that they can fucking goddamn fix it. They're not going to.
They're not going to fix it, bro. Just
give it up. So yeah. Anyway, like this happened. Embracer Group picked them up. If you're not familiar with Embracer Group, they are pretty big in the NFT world. Embracer Group also owns Gearbox, THQ Nordic.
I was about to say they also own a lot of fucking game development companies.
So I'm wondering now, do you guys think that you're going to see this go? They also own Saber Interactive, which is Metro and Crysis.
Yeah, they own a shit ton of companies, dude.
Do you think that this is going to go Epic exclusive with it? Because if you look at Embracer,
Epic exclusive with Square Enix.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, Square Enix is in Epic's pocket for most of this stuff,
right?
At least recently.
But so recently, Hearts and the new Final Fantasy, right?
Do you think this is a play for Square Enix to get purchased? There's a lot of rumors from a lot of big.
I don't think it's a play for them to get purchased. I think it's a play for Square Enix to get rid of a lot of studios that were not doing well.
I feel like Square is open to being purchased though. Like
they are, but I'm with Enigma. I think this is not so much as franchises that weren't doing well, but I think they're wanting to cut down on bloat so that they can focus on their own independent IPs. I think they're really going to be doubling down on the Final Fantasy universe, the Kingdom Hearts universe. They've made a lot of announcements recently in regards to those franchises and their like one-off franchises. I think they're wanting to cut the fat a little bit. The only thing out of this purchase that I'm actually upset about is the Tomb Raider purchase, because I genuinely think they did a good job with the modern Tomb Raider games.
Yeah.
And I do not think Embracer Group will handle that IP better than what
I don't think they're going to handle any of the IPs better than what Square was handling. Like, honestly.
Did you see how much they
bought
these
the one thing that I was going to say before we get too deep into this is to back up my point of they wanted to just get rid of bloat. Essentially, they came out and said the reason why they're selling this is because they want to take that money that they've used to sell it and move into what's it called? NFT companies, like more money to be able to purchase NFT companies.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they're not going to get purchased, or maybe they're just going to sell off all of their IPs. Maybe they're just going to get rid of all of it. I mean,
I think it's possible.
The fact that dude, this is whoever. I don't know how Microsoft or Sony did not pick this up. Man, this $300 million. Like, I get
this is what pisses me off a little bit is the amount of shit that like Sony got or that Microsoft got for purchasing Blizzard, right, and shit like that. This group now owns, and I don't know if you guys want me to read off every one of their fucking development companies that they have, but they have a lot, like a lot, and
they also own 3D Realms. Decent.
What's that?
They also own 3D Realms.
Yeah. They own 3D Realms. They own Madhead Games. They own Flying Wild Hog, Zen Studios, fucking Quantum Labs, which I'm pretty sure they've made some decent ones. Perfect World Entertainment, Cryptic Studios, Dark Horse Media. They own a lot. Like this is one thing that's been happening recently with Embracer Group is that like a lot of people are like it's kind of a almost like a shadow corporation that's kind of happening right now. Is they're just kind of under the radar buying up companies left and right, but nobody's really talking about it.
Right.
Dude, I can't. Wow, this is $300 million is pretty fucking cheap, man, for this purchase.
I 100%. Especially for companies that have such iconic games such as Tomb Raider.
I'm surprised Microsoft didn't sweep in and fucking put this in a bid in for this, man. That maybe they're gonna just buy fucking Embracer Group. They're like, hey, you go buy all this other stuff, and then we're just gonna buy you.
I will say that I am one of the fans that's like maybe this will see a reintegration of Legacy of Kain, because Legacy of Kain was one of my favorite games when I was a kid.
I'd like to actually see a good fucking Thief game, man. Like I like the original Thief, but I haven't seen a good one of those in a minute. So, well, that happened. So there you go. That's the acquisitions are still happening. All over the place. Scruffy. Artesian PC Builder, they filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah, love our buddies at Artesian. Yep. Thanks, Noah. I know I don't have enough clicks, but I hope you love me too.
Cats. Thanks, Noah. Cats. Maybe you can sell that shitty fucking Star-Lord jacket that you love so much and try and pay off some of your debts a little bit.
So here's the thing about it, right? To understand why this is a big deal and why we're talking about this, it's not just the fact that they're filing bankruptcy. And because there's multiple types of there are multiple types of bankruptcies you can file for. They are filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Why that's a big deal is because that means that they can get out from underneath all of their shit. So, all the debt, all the back taxes, all the garbage. Well, back taxes, the government will
still have to pay the back taxes.
The government will still go after them. They don't have to.
They're liquefying their stock, though, right? They're selling off their inventory.
They're going to have to.
Well, yeah.
But here's the other thing. Via Chapter 11 bankruptcy, unless a class action lawsuit is filed, they do not have to return the money that is owed that for people that purchase products that never got them. That's the fucked up thing.
Yep.
Chapter 11 allows them to basically
not only that they can do that, but they can also continue to do business.
They'll have to do it. Well, they could do it under their Artesian name, but they most likely this dude will end up keeping the LLC.
He's not going to be able to continue doing business because people aren't going to buy from him. But under that bankruptcy, he can still do business and pay off his debts as he does it.
Yes. So just understand that like filing for Chapter 11 allows them to be able to basically say, we don't give a fuck, and we're not going to pay you back.
Did you read that entire thing? I think there was a section in it that said that they had like a couple $1 million worth of PCs that they still had yet to send out.
Yeah, it's $1.37 million of unfilled orders.
Yeah, it's insane, dude.
Yeah.
That's. I feel for the people too.
They owe
because I got my PC. Y'all know I got my PC and it was fucked up when I got it.
They owe $450,000 to suppliers, $200,000 in credit card debt, and $1.37 million in unfilled orders to customers.
Yeah.
So, and on top of that, an undisclosed amount of unpaid overtime to their employees.
Yep.
Gosh.
So, and again, you're talking about just never having to fucking pay it.
Did we already cover that they had like almost $500,000 worth of product as well to liquidate?
I don't see that. Yeah, it doesn't show around here.
Some place in there. I don't know if it was right there.
What are you gonna do with warranties? Like they're not gonna.
You're done.
They're not gonna cover that.
Yeah, they're not gonna cover that.
Now, if there was a company that bought this out, then yes, that warranty would transfer. But as it stands right now, your warranty is voided.
Yeah. Like it's nothing.
Well, it's voided with them. It's not voided with the
manufacturers, right? But
obviously, but
the individual products, but
yeah.
But your warranty with Artesian is fucked.
Parts and labor is gone, 100%.
Yep. So
I got that class action lawsuit that I'm gonna put my name.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, put your name, because even if you get $10, like fuck them, dude.
That's
like 100%. That's $10. That's $10 less in Mr. Noah Cat's fucking pocket. Fuck that guy.
Fucking crazy.
100%. We were talking about this before the podcast started, and then Sin was like, "Save it for the podcast," because he's an old man. But we were saying like this entire situation could have been completely negated if he would have just been like, "Oh, yeah, have the PC."
Shut his mouth and gave them the PC.
Yeah. Just hubris, man. And you'll love to see it.
I was gonna do our next topic, but we're good. I'm not gonna show the video. We'll quick hit that one. So quick hits, and then we're gonna open up to questions, guys. So the POE Sentinel update happened, or is coming out. They just did an update today that showed it. So it's POE, man. They're making other changes, more league changes, more stuff like that, dude. I am blown away that game continues to still exist in the state that it does, and they keep adding stuff to it and whatever else. Like it's
they every single one of their updates is like when we want to talk about games that actually do bring out fucking updates that change their entire game. That's a game that
they treat their community
entirely.
Well. Oh no, I'm not
like
saying
in some cases entirely changes their game.
It just blows me away that is
it's crazy
that they continue to do it. Yeah, it's
yeah.
But and they find new innovative ways to make their seasons and leagues feel different.
At one point.
The only thing I'll say about that game is that it can be so fucking difficult to get into. Like,
well, that's the only problem with never like stopping production and making a new one is that it's just what's it called, mechanics after mechanics on top of mechanics on top of mechanics on top of mechanics, right? It's like 12 years worth of mechanics that you have to go through to get anywhere.
Yep. So but the new season, the Sentinel update does look pretty cool. Like they I think they listened to some people that were arguing about the in-game stuff. So the new update gives you a Sentinel, which basically is this little, like, I don't know, it's like this thing that hovers behind you, and you can feed it shit and like upgrade it and basically Pokemon the shit out of it. And then based on what you do, it will cause the enemies around you to drop more loot, but only like certain types and certain kind of loot and stuff like that. So they basically made it so like, hey, if you don't want to do maps, if you want to do all of this like fucking in-game grind, then you can do this and still get your, I don't know, it's
Yeah,
it's cool. It's whatever. So, you know, that's happened.
Crazy good quality for what you get. Like for a free to play game, insane.
Yep, the day before got delayed to
It's not real.
2023.
It's
literally a month before it was supposed to come out. So, or at least go into early access. This game is not a real
this
thing.
is crazy
It's
too.
coming out, man.
I mean, first of all, the game's not real. Even though Nvidia did spotlight it for like a gameplay RTX trailer, it's not real. All right.
Okay, I don't
And
know.
also,
This game,
there was I like that before this announcement, there was 5 months of just silence. Their Twitter was dead. Their website went down at one point, and was like the URL went back to just like the owner of the URL or whatever. It was gone. And then a week ago, they posted that an update is coming this week, and they posted it under a video or under a tweet of their game Prop Night. And then the announcement, of course, was the delay of 10 months. So
good lord.
Oh, this is the same people of Prop Night.
It's Prop Night, yeah. Honestly, and I believe that this game is just an advertisement for Prop Night, because they keep pushing Prop Night through all of their like hype and everything through this game. Like, you remember the original release date trailer of this game? At the end, they're like, "Oh, in our game that's coming out now, Prop Night. Go over and check that out." Dude, this
game's never coming. Dude, this is never coming out.
It's not coming out. So they pulled this shit of saying that they're going to be taking this game and delaying it for 10 months because they're switching from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5. Now, mind you that Epic has came out and they've already, exclaimed that the switch from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5 is not seamless, but it's easy. It's almost a seamless switch. Like, everything that you have on Unreal Engine 4 should transfer over to Unreal Engine 5. So there's no way that it takes 10 months for them to make this
to
switch.
an extent. I will
an exaggerated delay.
Yeah. I will give them that. Yes, the transfer over is probably easy, but the bugs that come over with updating from one version to another, it depends on the code, how they've coded the game entirely. But
so at a 10-month delay, it doesn't justify it. And at the same token is, why wait till a month before releasing a game to make this switch? What benefits does it really give the game to switch at this point in the game? It doesn't add up. So
I don't know if this is, at least you cannot purchase this game. That's like,
that's the one good thing that's come out of this.
Man.
There's no way of actually there's been no Kickstarters, purchasing, pre-ordering, none of that. So they're not scamming people, they're just scamming their time.
Not yet. Not yet. All right, so quick hits, guys. Have your questions ready. Dying Light owners, so Dying Light the original, not 2, are getting the enhanced version and some of the DLC for free. Pretty dope. Final Fantasy 16 is confirmed it's in the final stages of development, so I know that's pretty a lot of people are pretty stoked about that, which means we should be seeing, I imagine we'll see announcements probably this year. I know there's no E3, but we will probably hear something of releasing. I don't know if it'll be this holiday season, but I would definitely probably say next year, early next year for sure. There right now, there are 4 Bethesda games that are free on Steam, because if you have been following, Bethesda shut down their launcher. Well, Microsoft shut down Bethesda's launcher and said fuck that, and so they put everything on Steam. You can move stuff over to Steam that you have purchased on.
Please, that's still available
on there.
Hey, by the way, just to let you know, Fallout 76 is still just as much of a trash game as it was when I played it.
I still want to be able to own it, though. I don't want to just lose it.
Yeah, but it's still just as trash. I downloaded it the other day, transferred everything over, and it's rough. It's still rough.
But you can also get 4 of the older games. Wolfenstein Enemy Territory, amazing game. The Morrowind, and what was the one before Morrowind? Dark
Elder Scrolls. Arena,
but there's another one. There's Morrowind
Daggerfall,
Shadowfall, or whatever else. So that's on there. You can go and get those as a free. Go grab them while you can. Bobby
I
Kotick
might do that. Morrowind was a really great game.
You can play it in VR, by the way. They have a VR mod for that if you want to play Morrowind in VR.
Nice.
Bobby Kotick is being sued by the state of New York because he is they see him as unfit to negotiate the Microsoft buyout. Keep in mind, this is a big thing. If this goes through and New York wins this lawsuit, there is a chance that the Microsoft buyout from for Activision will not go through. It will still most likely go through, just putting it out there, but this can cause a bump in the road. The stockholders did approve everything, but if it does go, if New York does win this, Bobby Kotick actually will take a huge, I mean, who gives a fuck if he takes a hit, but he will take a huge hit and actually can be his bonuses, his part in that negotiation, all the millions of dollars that he would have gotten can actually be negated, and they could say no. Yeah. He's seen as unfit. So that can happen. All right, opening up to questions. Do we have any questions in chat? I think Chicken Boy said he had.
I think Chicken Boy had a couple. Yeah. Chicken Boy put him. You should have had him in the chat, bro. Come on, bro.
Okay.
Hey, you should have had him in the chat already.
Okay. Well, yeah, you should have already had him in there. Okay, here we go. Have y'all seen issues for MMR in the Vampire game? Is the competition skill level consistent? Does it go from going against bots to people that are ranked in the top 10? So one, there's no bots.
I don't think we've been up against bots. Yeah.
There are no bots.
I think he means it in a
like
term of really bad players.
Like bottoms. Okay.
No, I mean, I don't think. I mean, I don't feel like that. Like I've faced opponents.
Pretty consistent. There's no ranked play yet, though. Like I don't.
No, but they do have their ranking. Like they have like
there's an MMR still.
Right.
they've got to cite their ranks. I don't think it's governed by Shark or whatever.
But no actual ranked mode. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Yeah.
So, but no, I don't. I think it does it well. Whatever hidden MMR system that they're using, I think it handles well. And honestly, like I think most BRs actually do that pretty well because it's just it's a way of like, look, we're gonna fucking put people in and that's it. You know what I mean? So yeah. You know, it is what it is. So, and like I said, we get outplayed or we lose because we get outplayed 9 times out of 10. Like, yeah, you'll get some situations where you'll just have like shit loot or a glitch, or, you know, whatever. But like most of the time, it's because we get outplayed. That's why. So, yeah. Again, guys, thank you guys all for being here and hanging out. I know we went a little bit over, but you know, we try to give you guys really good casts every single time that we're out here.
And Chicken Boy had another question as well. But
what is
COC? Clash of Clans.
What is COC?
It's Clash of Clans.
Update.
It's Clash of Clans.
COC.
It's Clash of Clans. And I don't play Clash of Clans.
Yeah, I don't play Clash of Clans.
Yeah, so
Bill, you big Clash of Clans player?
I don't mobile game outside of Genshin and the stint on Raid Shadow Legends that I had.
He's gonna be playing the shit out of some Warcraft Arclight Rumble.
100%.
That and Diablo
Better
Immortal.
that than Overwatch 1.1.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it for the show, guys. Episode 57 is in the books. Again, if you missed anything or want to recap and go, you know, listen to our rants or everybody gang up on me about Overwatch or whatever, go to anchor.fm/prepatch podcast. Go listen to us on any of your favorite podcast channels. And again, if you want to watch video, we're on Spotify on video. You can go back there and check it out too. That's really awesome. We appreciate.
Also, if you guys do listen to us and watch us on Spotify, if you could please leave a rating. That's going to push us up in the algorithm over there.
High rating, please. Only if you think we deserve it. But
that doesn't mean go get high and rate us. That means give us a high rating.
Alrighty.
I mean, they can be high and rate us if they want to, as long as it's a high rating. Exactly.
I mean, whatever you want. I don't care. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's the show. Thank you guys all for being here. We will catch you guys in 2 weeks, Thursday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, right here across all of our channels. We are outie. Bye, guys.
Later.
Overwatch 2 could have been a custom game mode.